Williams has confirmed the signing of Ferrari driver Carlos Sainz to a multi-year contract, beginning with the F1 2025 season. Sainz was left without a seat in F1 2025 after learning last winter that he will be replaced by seven-time world champion Lewis Hamilton at Ferrari at the end of the current season. Carlos Sainz joins Williams on a 2-year contract starting in F1 2025. His best ever start to a season in F1 2024, culminating in his third career victory at the Australian Grand Prix, drew interest from a number of teams, including Mercedes, Alpine, and longtime admirers Audi, who will take over the current Sauber squad in time for F1's 2026 regulation changes. Sainz, on the other hand, has put his faith in Williams, signing a multi-year contract that will last until the end of the F1 season in 2026, with options to extend. The 29-year-old will join Alex Albon's squad for the 2025 Formula One season, replacing Logan Sargent. Sainz said, "I am very happy to announce that I will be joining Williams Racing from 2025 onwards. It is no secret that this year's driver market has been exceptionally complex for various reasons, and that it has taken me some time to announce my decision. However, I am fully confident that Williams is the right place for me to continue my F1 journey, and I am extremely proud of joining such a historic and successful team, where many of my childhood heroes drove in the past and made their mark on our sport. The ultimate goal of bringing Williams back to where it belongs, at the front of the grid, is a challenge that I embrace with excitement and positivity. I am convinced that this team has all the right ingredients to make history again. And starting on January 1st, I will give my absolute best to drive Williams forward alongside every single member of the team. I want to thank James Vowles and the entire board of Williams for their trust and determination. Their solid leadership and convictions have played an important role in my decision-making. I truly believe that the core of every successful team lies amongst their people and their culture. Williams is synonymous with heritage and pure racing. The foundations of the project that lies ahead of us are very strong, and I am really looking forward to being part of it starting next year. As a result, F1's most promising young driver is no longer available. It is unusual for a silly season to be so concentrated on one individual, but Lewis Hamilton's surprise move to Ferrari meant that for the first time in a long time, a high-level driver was available to be signed. When Hamilton made his departure, more than half of the grid was out of contract, giving Sainz, who began the year with a third-place finish in Bahrain and a triumph in Australia, plenty of options to choose in order to stay in the sport in 2025. Red Bull seems to be the most desirable option. They had just won their second consecutive Constructors' Championship, were a clear step ahead of their competitors, and there was every reason to believe that dominance would last for the foreseeable future. Then there was a simple exchange with Mercedes, who were certainly one of the bigger teams with a seat available, but also one with questions about their future title potential. Finally, many people expected Sainz to relocate to Sauber before of Audi's entrance in 2026, a team with which his father has a close ties. Each step would have been intriguing, but as the months and weeks passed, Sainz's options dwindled. Red Bull chose to renew Sergio Perez's contract, and even if they did, reuniting Sainz and Verstappen was unlikely. Mercedes, meanwhile, appears to be planning to offer young phenom Kimi Antonelli a chance next season. Audi clearly made an offer, but unlike Red Bull and Mercedes, Sainz declined. Reports of a missed deadline for agreeing to the contract were followed by suggestions Audi was willing to wait, but that alone was insufficient to land their man. At the start of the season, James Vowles may have believed bringing Sainz to Williams was out of the question, but as it became evident that a top seat was not available, put the Spaniard at the top of his wish list. In his year and a half as team principal, Vowles has developed a reputation for being straightforward, which has been especially true when it comes to Sainz. Vowles' response of "the number one target is Carlos" was far from the typical smoke and mirrors from those making decisions. Vowles' tone always conveyed confidence that Sainz was open to the proposal, and publicly pursuing him was the final step in getting him to make the agreement official. But, with the enormous name of Audi behind him, why did Sainz choose Williams? Vowles believes he knows the answer to it too. "There's a reason why I left Mercedes to come here. He told the media as far back as Canada. This isn't the Williams of old, and I think first and foremost, the fact that we are having Sainz on our list will certainly show you that this isn't how we've performed of late. We are prepared to have a driver lineup that I think is going to be one of the best on the grid, if it's achieved, and that's a different era that we're going into. We're investing tens if not hundreds of millions to take this team back to where it was in terms of success. Vowles is undoubtedly a talented negotiator. His ability to sell this ambition was demonstrated by the extension of Alex Albon, and now the 44-year-old has gone one step further. For Sainz, he considered the two viable projects available to him and concluded that Williams was his best and quickest opportunity of competing for podiums and winning. Williams and Vowles will have the opportunity to prove to Sainz that his judgment was correct in 2025. Vowles, the Williams team principal, added, "Carlos joining Williams is a strong statement of intent from both parties. Carlos has demonstrated time and again that he is one of the most talented drivers on the grid, with race-winning pedigree, and this underlines the upwards trajectory we are on. Carlos brings not just experience and performance, but also a fierce drive to extract every millisecond out of the team and car. The fit is perfect. In Alex and Carlos, we will have one of the most formidable driver lineups on the grid, and with huge experience to guide us into the new regulations in 2026. Their belief in this organization's mission demonstrates the magnitude of the work going on behind the scenes. People should be in no doubt about our ambition and momentum as we continue our journey back to competitiveness. We are here, we are serious, and with Doralton's backing, we are investing in what it takes to return to the front of the grid. I also want to thank Logan for everything he has done for the team, and know he will continue to fight hard for us in the races ahead. So, why do you think Carlos chose Williams? Was it James Vowles' inspired leadership and unwavering belief in his long-term vision? Perhaps the team's hopeful improvement over the past few years? Or was it simply motivated by strong doubts about Audi's F1 initiative and a worry of the path your career could take if you make the incorrect decision at this vital stage? Even before his Ferrari exit was announced, Sainz and Audi seemed like a match made in heaven. A classy driver, at the right age and with a respectable amount of success behind him, collaborating with a classy brand, and a project managed by none other than his former McLaren team principal. It all seemed to make too much sense. Especially given Audi's pre-existing ties to the Sainz family, Carlos's WRC and Dakar-winning father openly pushed him in that direction. However, there is no evidence to suggest that Audi's widely anticipated F1 return will be successful beginning in 2026. It's not just the Sauber team's current results, though there's still a nagging suspicion that Audi, perhaps fatally, chose the wrong horse when selecting their strategic partner for F1 2026, or the suspicion that it will take years, certainly more than Sainz is willing to give, to build a winning team. Audi, both technically and politically, appears to be unaware of the risks they have taken in Formula One. Rumors have circulated for some time that Audi's engine preparations are not proceeding as planned, with Helmut Marko revealing last August that the German manufacturer, and compellingly Ferrari, were miles behind Mercedes and Red Bull in the race to be ready for 2026. So what do you think? Is this just a maneuver for Sainz to keep him hot for joining Audi? Let us know in the comments down below.